The next item that we have is item 15. City Attorney, if you would explain, this item was on our agenda of our previous meeting, and because of a parallel ordinance that dealt with the same issue, the decision was made based on advice given that we did not need to vote on this item. Would you explain, for the purpose of the record, why this item is back on our agenda at this point in time?
Mayor, what happened in the last case was based in large part about discussions I'd had with Mr. Lawson, the prior planning director, that in fact a plan development was treated as a plan change. And so the place where we were coming from the last time is that if you've denied the plan change and then turn around and grant the action in disapproving one and approving the other. After that meeting, I think I sent a memorandum to the board too about this, but after that meeting, we met with the planning department in some detail and then did so again today. The first meeting led to new notices being sent out that simply this was going to come up. The argument that they're making is that the plan development really, or the plan change really is not a part of the plan development, and that's how they've been interpreting it and enforcing it. I can't disagree with that. Mr. Bazinski and I think agree that this is something that needs to be one part of several things that needs to be considered about our zoning court, but it's a much longer discussion than tonight or that night. And just to keep things on an even keel for right now, we're saying go ahead and deal with the ordinance too.
So to make a final legislative determination on this, what you're saying is that the board has already defeated the land use amendment that would have allowed for this, and this is then the zoning ordinance that would be accompanying that, and you're saying we need to take a final legislative action on that.
Make it clear.
All right. Director Richardson, did you have a question?
Yes, I did. Thank you, Mayor. And this question is Tom or Tony. When you guys discussed this, when we discussed this back on December 4th, I was out of town, so unfortunately I didn't have an opportunity to participate in those conversations. But for a point of clarity, despite the fact that you guys defeated the land use plan ordinance, we can still approve a PCD tonight, and she still would still have the ability to operate her building or her business in that area, despite what actions we took back on December 4th. Is that correct?
Director Richardson, I have been told that there are situations where that has happened. So I guess the answer is yes. I think that if that's what happens tonight, well,
Tony, do you
the
want
answer to your question is yes, it can happen.
Tony, would you like to speak to that, please?
Mayor, then I have a question too to follow up to that.
Director Richardson, Mr. Carpenter's correct that you can vote to approve the request that's before you to allow the use of this particular location on North Van Buren for a beauty shop. And there have been other applications as plan developments approved that do not conform to the adopted land use plan.
Thank you.